Takana-sana declared that if something happens to Taiwan, it means something happens to Japan. This immediately ignited fervor among China's hawkish netizens with the phrase, "It's a deal," flooding the screens, right? The fear isn't that you won't come, but that you won't dare to actually come. If you do come, old and new scores will be settled together. The nature of the war for Taiwan's unification would overnight transform into a continuation of the counterattack against Japanese aggression. Many people don't realize that currently, China's strongest hawks have never been in the government but among the people. Young soldiers yearn for military achievements, and civilians want to wash away past humiliations. Looking around the world, China is unique, a country with such powerful strength yet so deeply committed to peace. If you gave this capability to Russia, it would have already recreated the Tsarist Empire. If to Saudi Arabia, it would have swept through Israel. If to Japan, it would have expelled US forces and completely overturned its pacifist constitution. China's strength is not only a blessing for the Chinese people, but also a stabilizing force for global peace. How can Takana not realize how vast the disparity in strength between China and Japan is? What a colossal mess has she stirred up? Let's first look at the Air Force. Japan's Air Force currently mainly relies on three types of fighter jets: the F-35A, the F-15J, and the F-2. Among these, the F-35A and F-15J are purchased from the US, while the F-2 is an upgraded version based on the American F-16. This means Japan's aviation industry is grafted from the US, but the only one truly capable of combat is the latest F-35A. Why do I say this? Because the F-15J and F-2 are too outdated to be relied upon. For example, Japan purchased 213 F-15Js with the earliest delivery in 1981, 44 years ago. Their average age is about 36 years. Due to their age, many have been retired, leaving only 98 currently in service. The F-2 is relatively newer, entering service around 2000, with most aircraft around 20 years old, totaling 90 units. It is essentially the Japanese version of the F-16, and in terms of overall performance it is inferior to China's J-10C because it can only carry the AAM-4 medium-range missile with a maximum range of 150 kilometers. In contrast, China's J-11 can carry the PL-15 long-range missile with a maximum range exceeding 200 kilometers. The J-10 alone can overpower Japan's two Wang Pai ace fighters, the F-15 and F-2. Japan only has 35 fighters that can truly confront the Chinese Air Force. Japan has ordered 105 F-35As, but only 40 have been delivered so far. How many J-20s does China have? China has over 200, more than the US F-22. The newly commissioned J-35 has also exceeded 60 units. Whether in quantity or quality, China comprehensively overwhelms Japan. Additionally, Japan lags comprehensively in early warning aircraft and electronic warfare aircraft. Japan's electronic warfare aircraft is the EC-1, which entered service in 1986, a truly outdated fighter that is behind the times. For early warning aircraft, Japan entirely relies on the US-made E-2 with only 13 units. China's KJ-500 early warning aircraft already exceeds 50 in service, far surpassing Japan in both performance and numbers. From the perspective of systematic warfare, Japan stands no chance in an aerial confrontation with China. This is even more true for unmanned combat systems, where China further dominates Japan. Now let's look at the navies. Restricted by its status as a defeated nation, Japan is not allowed to build nuclear submarines, aircraft carriers, or long-range cruise missiles, severely limiting its offensive capabilities. Despite Japan's navy having two 20,000-ton Izumo-class quasi-aircraft carriers, their offensive power is severely limited. Japan does not possess any hypersonic missiles, while China alone can sink all Japanese surface vessels with just the YJ-21. Moreover, Japan is not permitted to have bombers. The H-6K can launch CJ series cruise missiles from over 1,000 kilometers away, capable of launching large-scale airstrikes across Japan. As for Japan's army, it has no opportunity to mobilize and can only passively take hits. The decisive factor in a Sino-Japanese conflict lies in the sea and air. With China's powerful navy, the Japanese army would never even have a chance to land. The only aspect of Japan that warrants China's vigilance is its submarine force. Japan has built the world's largest Soryu-class conventional submarines, and anti-submarine warfare was once China's weakness. But that is in the past. Since the commissioning of the Z-20F anti-submarine helicopter, the dynamics of anti-submarine warfare between China and Japan have reversed. A single Z-20F can control a maritime area of over 200 square kilometers, capable of independently searching, tracking, and launching anti-submarine torpedoes to single-handedly eliminate Japanese submarines. China can produce 50 such helicopters annually. Beyond the Z-20F, China also has the Y-9 anti-submarine patrol aircraft, the 054A anti-submarine frigate, the 052D all-purpose destroyer, and more, all capable of comprehensively hunting Japanese submarines. But the most significant factor is China's strategic nuclear missiles, which can launch a nation-destroying strike against Japan. Whether in conventional combat power or strategic nuclear strike systems, China comprehensively suppresses Japan. Why are the Chinese people growing increasingly confident? Because strength is the fundamental pillar of a nation's self-assurance. When Takana-sana spouts her reckless remarks about military intervention in the Taiwan Strait, the reaction among Chinese youth is never fear, but the ignition of a deep-seated flame of vengeance. It's a deal floods social media because this generation of young people possesses immense confidence that China can defeat any foreign enemy. 该写说明整体翻译与内容忠实传递。